So you're selling your high ticket coaching program, and all you're hearing again and again and again is it's too expensive. It's way outside my budget. There's no way I can afford that. Why is it so expensive? Maybe it's you or your sales team, and you just can't get over that price objection. And you were expecting some of it because maybe you're selling a 20, a 10, a 20, a 30K type of offer. And anytime you're selling something like that, you're kind of anticipating that price objection, but you're not really sure how to get over it. You continue to hear it again and again and again. I also talk to coaches who, again, 9 times out of 10, that's what they're hearing. Like, there's no way I have the budget for that. I don't have that kind of money, all those kind of things. So I'm going to go through 3 steps right now on how you can maybe not eliminate that, but how can we get to the point where you're hearing that less often, how we can start to in your marketing, kind of expel those people that don't have that money for your high ticket coaching programs. So you spend less time on your coaching calls with people that are living paycheck to paycheck or just don't have the financial qualifications for your program. And how you can kind of get in front of some of these things, how you can pre-sell some of these objections so you hear it less often, or you can kind of start to shift in their own head, even if they don't have the money right now, how they can find the resources to potentially get into your program. And even when it is too expensive, what can you do on the back end to make it a little bit more manageable for people? Like, how can you take a 30K program and make it a little bit more digestible and make it more possible for people along the way. So this is Brian Czekanski. If you haven't joined one of my lives before, I have 10X high ticket programs for coaches, experts, companies all along the way. I do that without any expensive funnels or sales calls, and I do it all via email, DM, or or SMS in that method. So not asking any of my prospects for any of their time on sales calls. And really my expertise is working alongside companies and coaches that have sales teams and picking up all those lost sales that they are losing out on from all those people that fall through the cracks, those people that don't book a sales call, those people that don't show up for their sales call or say no on their sales call. All those 3 different dynamics and more are leads that are kind of hidden revenue, hiding in plain sight. Usually equates to 5 or 6K in terms of hidden revenue sitting there right there for us that I can monetize for you, completely done for you. So I take no upfront investment. There's no upfront risk. I take all that. Obviously don't work with everybody, but going through the process here. So I spend a lot of time in selling 10, 20, 30K type of offers. And the key thing is, so we'll go through kind of the 3 steps here is kind of like number 1 is making it really transparent for your audience, like what the price is. There should be no shock if they jump on a sales call with you and go for 45 minutes and then be shocked that it's 10K, 20K, 30K. I recognize for some people, they want to leave that price tag off their website or whatever it is, but you should give people there's no reason that you can't give people clues on how much it's going to be. It should be like, they should know it's going to be at least a 4-figure investment. It's going to be a 5-figure investment. And the good part about is like your sales team is going to spend less time with people that just have nowhere near that. If they've got a negative bank account, if they get a ton of debt, like those aren't the type of people that your sales team should be spending a lot of time with anyway. We're not trying to convince those people that just don't have the resources for it. So as much as possible in your marketing, in your Facebook ads, in your landing page, somewhere on there should be either calling out the audience. So if you think back and kind of work backwards, who are those clients that you have had in your program where it's super easy, where they say yes right away to a 30K type of program because they have it sitting there right in their bank account. So you could call out a certain profession. So like, again, there's tons of people that target doctors and lawyers. And, so think about those people from what are the characteristics of those people and how can we work our way backwards so that in our Facebook ads, in our landing page, in our webinars, how can we start calling out those people so that those people are attracted to us? And then from the flip side, how can we almost dispel all those people that aren't the right fit? So again, the key, like the easy example I talk about is there's a fitness coach that I've mentioned on prior videos where he calls out, like, if you're not making at least $150,000 a year, like I can't help you. So if you're not making at least that, you should turn off this ad. You should continue scrolling, all those kind of things. So like, you don't have to, you don't have to call out that explicitly, but really think about like how you can call out either an income level or think about again, kind of really working backwards. Think about the best clients that you've had that were super easy on a sales call. Like, absolutely, I'm ready to go. I've got it right in my bank account. I'm going to put it on the credit card. I'm going to wire you money, whatever it is. Like, think backwards and start to think about those. Start creating those Facebook ads. Start creating that webinar that speaks directly to that person. And what that's going to do is it's going to make the Facebook algorithm that like make it super easy for them to find those people and to put your ad in front of those people, and then to not put your ad in front of people that just, again, don't fit that criteria along the way. So that specificity and that personalization is going to be huge to not only increasing the quality of the leads that you're getting, but you're going to start to almost clone those best clients that you had along the way. Like, think about the 5 or 10 best clients that you've had in the high ticket mastermind, one-to-one coaching, group coaching, that really, again, had the resources, number one, but followed through on your advice, got amazing results, and are great testimonials for you. How can we start to call out those people in your front end, like in your ads, in whatever you're going through? Maybe it's in your low ticket program as well. Like, how do we attract more of those people? By speaking their language. And again, spend some time with those people and building out case studies and getting them on video calls, and start recording and get those transcripts. Use the exact words and phrases that they're using to describe where they were before, where they want to go, and use that directly in your ads, in your emails, in everything that you do. And in doing so, you're going to start attracting more people like them. And you're going to have less of those people saying like, hey, it's too expensive. Like, I don't have the budget for it, because you're attracting more people just like them. So that's the first part, is like, again, work backwards from those people that have had the resources, have done well in your program, and start creating personalized ads and front end webinar, like whatever it is, low ticket webinar, ebook, whatever you have on the front end. How can we start speaking to, again, think of the 4 or 5 different avatars that have really done well in your program and were an easy sale anytime they talk to you or your sales team, those kind of things. The second thing is, again, be transparent about what your program is. Again, as much as possible, can you put the exact dollar figure of your program on your website, on your application, somewhere in your funnel? Do they have an idea that it's going to be 10K, 20K, 30K? We shouldn't have to shy away from that. Again, I know that some people want to give flexibility to their sales team to have some flexibility around that price, but I think if anything, you're wasting your sales team's time with people that just have no idea what the price is. And then they're shocked when they hear that price tag after, again, a 30 or 45-minute sales call. There's no reason to have that. Give people transparency so that people have a good idea, even before they jump on a sales call, or what it's going to cost and things like that. So that's something I do all the time, like in my early stages of my process. Like, hey, just to give you a heads up, this is going to be a 4-figure investment. This is going to be a 5-figure investment. If you have the means for that, please let me know, and we'll continue on for the process. Again, for that, in doing that, I probably eliminate maybe 95% of people, but that's really beneficial for me, because I can spend my time and energy on those people that said, yes, I've got that in my bank account. Can I get a little bit more detail? So if anything, they're kind of opting in more for the offer, even before they hear about it. And it gives me an extra level of comfort of like, hey, we've kind of checked off that box. It's never like, even if they say it's too expensive, it's only because I haven't sold it correctly in doing so. So that's really important. So going to step number 3 is really think about like how in presenting your offer. So you put the offer in front of this prospect. What are the things that you can do even before you give out the exact price? The other thing that I tend to do is think about all the costs of not getting into your program. So if they continue on what they're doing right now, even in their current plan, or maybe they're not getting any help whatsoever, how is their problem going to get worse? How can you start to give a visual in their mind of what that's going to look like? Is their pain going to increase? Like, what is it going to do for their relationships? What is it going to go? And like, again, paint them a picture of like, if they don't take action, if they don't join this program right now, what is it going to cost them? And then when you actually do get to the program, it's going to put in perspective like, hey, if you continue on down this road, say we're a health coach. Hey, if we continue down this road, like you're going to continue to put on weight, you're going to continue to have that lost sleep, like any number of symptoms, talk about how some of those symptoms are going to be exacerbated, how it's going to affect their daily life. and how things are going to get much worse because they're not taking action on, again, kind of the unique problem that you might have described in your offer a little bit earlier. So again, being able to describe the cost of not joining this program or not taking them off on this offer is super important before we get to the price. Again, another way of doing it is just kind of price anchoring. What are some of those other options that are out there? And they've probably spent money on other programs that may or may not have worked for them, but that's important to kind of put some options out there. Talk about all those other options, how expensive they are, and put some price points on that. So if you're at 30K, how can you talk about something that they might spend 100K on over the next 10 years and maybe not get the results they're looking for? So again, the cost of not taking action, but in the stuff that they are taking action on and not really solving the true root of their problem, super important to talk about that as well. And then you're eventually going to get to people where, again, maybe price is just, maybe they don't have the credit card limit to get to 30K. So think about how you can make it a little bit easier. How can you build into your program some ability to, whether it's finding, do you have a financing program for those people that are motivated, maybe don't have the cash on hand right now, don't have the credit card limit? How can we give them a financing plan where we can spread that payment over a few years? The other part is payment plans. So maybe you have a one-time payment for 30K, but okay, how can we spread that payment over, two or three times to make it a little bit more manageable for people? And the good part is that, in the payment plan, they can start seeing results, and that will motivate them to make those additional payments. Obviously, you're going to have people that are going to join the program and potentially not take action. They're not going to make those second and third payment. I would say, that is a risk, but I would say, you're going to get a lot more volume in terms of the people joining your program, and the net is going to be something positive, even for, again, 80% of those people will make all payments. You're going to have maybe 15 or 20% that don't, but the net is you're going to have a lot more people into your program. That's going to lead to renewals down the line, more referrals, testimonials, all those kind of things. So really think about if it is conducive to a payment plan and you can spread it out over, again, 30 or 60 days in terms of that payment instead of a one single payment altogether. That can make sense as well. And then you can really be creative in terms of okay, what other payment plans might be available? Can you tie a payment to a specific result, really motivating them to take action? So once they hit this specific level and once they see that return on investment, they have to make an additional payment as well. Again, be super creative with that along the way. I would kind of hold those in your back pocket. Again, the easiest way to do it is just to start with okay, here's the offer price. If somebody comes back and says, hey, that's, I don't have the credit card limit for that. I'm going through a tough time right now. I don't exactly have 30K sitting in my pocket. Hey, it's just a matter of kind of going back and forth with them and just having a discussion about it. It doesn't have to be kind of a hard close or hey, you either have the money or not. Just a matter of okay, can I get a better idea of what you're going through? If we split up these payments, how much would you be able to put up front? Would you be able to put 10 or 15K up front? And then we spread those other two payments over 30 and 60 days. Would that be something that is manageable? So again, use your own judgment and you can use your creativity along the way. But again, just because somebody says, I don't have the credit card limit or I don't have that in my bank account right away, doesn't mean they're a no if you can continue that conversation and be creative about finding those solutions. And again, you're going to have those people that maybe in a payment plan don't make all three of those payments, but the net over time, based on experience and working with other coaches and experts, is you're going to enroll more people. That's going to be beneficial. 80% of the time, 70% of the time, those people are going to make all those payments. They're going to follow through, and that's going to be potential for you to get more renewals, referrals, testimonials along the way. So really think about those things in that. So talked about 3 key steps, and that one additional one in terms of really being creative with financing or payment plans, really making it, meeting that person exactly where they are to get them enrolled in your program, and not being afraid to, get more people into your program. Even if you have those people that maybe don't make all payments, that's perfectly fine because the net is going to be positive for you. So if this was helpful in terms of getting that price objection, especially if you have a high ticket program, or maybe you have a sales team that is hearing it's too expensive over and over again, hopefully you can use these tips in what you're doing right now. Hit that like button if this was helpful on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button and that notification bell And let me know in the comments how you've addressed kind of these price objections over time. Would love to see what you've been doing to, in terms of creative financing, but also just in your pre-selling. How do you pre-sell some of these objections, especially if you've got a higher ticket, 10 or 20 or 30K type of offer, and getting in front of some of these objections and handling them before they even come out of the mouth of your prospect. And with that, I'll see you on a future live.